I'm Laura, and tonight I am doing the Facebook's solo. Carol and John have gone away on a holiday, so it's just me. I'm very nervous, so please go easy on me. I'm just going to quickly go through what we're going to be making tonight, just while we wait for a few people to join us. So I'm just going to show you down here. Maria just has a look. This is what I'm going to be making. Now this recipe was done by Every Nook and Cranny, and she made a black cherry version using the Mrs. Whippy nozzle, and she's very kindly shared it with us. So I thought that we would try this tonight, give it a go. So here's one I prepared earlier, but tonight I am using strawberry milkshake. So this is just to show you. So we've used the Mrs. Whippy nozzle to make the meringue, and then again to add this cream topping, and I'm going to demonstrate both of those for you. I have pre-made the compote, but I will tell you how to make it during tonight's session. So we'll just have a little look at that. We've got a few people with us yet, Maria. And I just need to say a quick hello to Mum and John, seeing as they're not here enjoying themselves. So make sure you give me a wave, Mum. And we'll just get...
Caroline is here with us.
Alright, brilliant. It feels really weird for me this tonight, because normally I have Mum and she does all the introductions and everything, and I just kind of come in and do my thing and then leave. So you just have to bear with me. I'm probably rambling on as well, so sorry about that. But what else we're going to do tonight, as well as this Pavlova, is I'm going to decorate a unicorn cake for you. I'm also going to do some unicorn cupcakes, and I'm going to show you how to make the unicorn, the ears, the eyes, and I'm also going to be using the Karen Davies Sugar paste to do that with, and I'm going to be spraying them in this edible luster spray. I'm going to give that a go tonight, see how that is. And I'm also going to do a couple of cupcakes with these sugar pipings. Now that we sell them on our website, and they are £2.49 for a pack of 12, and they're great just to mix in if you're doing cupcakes, so you can do a few different variations, but I'll be showing you those tonight. These are the colours that I've used for my buttercream, 3 of which I've made up. So I've used the Colour Splash Jade, Pale Pink, Violet, Pistachio and Lemon, and I've just used a drop of each just to get a nice pastel-y colour. So we've got a few more people now, Maria. Yes? We'll get started then. So just to say again, tonight's recipe that I'm doing is by Every Nook and Cranny, so thank you for sharing that recipe with us. She did the black cherry version, but I'm doing the strawberry milkshake one tonight, just for something different, but you can use black cherry, you can use other flavours, you just need to adjust the fruit for your compote and your fresh fruit on top. So I'm going to get started. I'm just going to go through the ingredients that we're going to use. So here I've got 100 grams of egg whites. I've used large eggs, and it's approximately 3 eggs that you need. I'm going to use 100 grams of our strawberry milkshake icing sugar, and I've got 50 grams of caster sugar. I've also got some white wine vinegar and some corn flour, which we're going to be using later on. So we're just going to start with making the meringue. So we're going to put the egg whites into a mixer. Now it is really important that you clean out your mixer well. So before I've started, I've just used a damp kitchen cloth with a little bit of lemon juice on, and I've just wiped down my whisk and the inside of my mixing bowl just to make sure that it's free of grease. So I'm just going to set that down onto a medium setting while it starts to form some nice peaks for us. And just while that's getting ready, just show you what else you're going to need. So I've got some other bits out. We're going to use the Mrs. Whippy Nifty Nozzle tonight, which is this one. This is one of our genuine Russian piping nozzles. Now these would normally retail at £4.99, but Carol and John have reduced them down to £3.50 at the moment, so if you haven't got one, now's your chance. They're a great nozzle, you can do lots of different things with them, starting with this recipe. So while I'm waiting for my egg whites, I'm just going to prepare my piping bag. So you just need to snip off about 1.5 to 2 inches from your piping bag. Oh, and I've preheated the oven as well for the meringue up to 120 degrees, so you need to make sure that your oven's ready. So I just need to take a little bit more off until I can see the nozzle. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that all the slits are through the piping bag, so I just need to keep doing this until all my nozzles coming through. There we go, like that. See that? Okay, so that's ready there. I've also got a baking tray here which we're going to put our Pavlova on, and I've just put a piece of parchment paper ready for us to put our meringue on. So we're all set up.
Carol say that she thinks that it may have the rose twist here, there.
I might have the rose twist.
Yes.
No, I think Mrs. Whippy. So this is what we're looking for in our meringue. So we just want this nice soft peaks. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add the caster sugar to the icing sugar. I'm just going to stir that in. Now I'm using the icing sugar mixed with caster sugar. The caster sugar just helps to give it more stability. The icing sugar, you can use all icing sugar if you wanted to, but I'm using the icing sugar just to make sure that I get that stiffness with the caster sugar and I get the flavouring from the icing sugar. But you still get a nice crispy, gooey scented meringue. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to pop this back down, put it back onto a medium mix, and I'm just going to gradually add in a teaspoon at a time of icing sugar. And I'm doing it 1 teaspoon at a time just so that I can make sure that the sugar's being mixed in well.
Violet is asking if you could just use the icing sugar.
Yeah, you can just use the icing sugar. I just use most meringue. I'll just turn this off so you can hear. Most meringue recipes ask you to use caster sugar, and but we're at Sugar and Crumbs. We like to use icing sugar in everything. You can use all icing sugar. You can use all caster sugar. I find that it's nicer to do 100 grams of icing sugar and 50 grams of caster sugar, and I always seem to get a perfect, nice, gooey, chewy meringue at the end. So I'm just going to keep adding this in. You just have to bear with me, it takes a bit of time. So while I'm just doing this, I'm just going to quickly run through how I made the compote, because I made it earlier. And the reason why I made it earlier was because it took me about 15-20 minutes to make, and I just thought it would be easier to pre-make it. One, because I was doing the demonstration meringue here, but two, just so that you didn't have to watch me boiling strawberries for 15 minutes. So what I've used is 300 grams of strawberries that I've chopped and diced, and then I've put them in a pan over a medium heat, and I've just simmered them with 50 grams of caster sugar and 1 teaspoon of water. And all you do is you put that all in your pan and you just keep stirring all the time till it all starts to form this nice syrupy texture at the bottom. When your strawberries are starting to look quite soft, you need to take them out. And this is the same if you wanted to do a cherry compote, or if you wanted to do a raspberry compote, exactly the same. You just reduce it down, keep stirring, take out the fruit, and then you just carry on stirring until your compote turns into a nice syrupy mixture. I have put the recipe on the website tonight so you can find out how to do it at home, but that's the compote that I've got ready there. I'm just going to keep adding this icing sugar so we've got it all in. I'm just going to set it on a little bit higher. Now what we're looking for is this nice glossy whipped meringue. Just to make sure that we've got everything mixed in well. I'm just going to push down the sides just to make sure all that sugar is being whisked in. And what you need to do a couple of times when you think it's nearing getting ready is just take a little pinch of the meringue and rub it between your fingers. If you can feel any grains, then it's not ready, which this isn't just yet, because I've just scraped down that icing sugar from the sides. So we'll just give it another quick mix. So again, on high. Just try that again. So a little pinch. Feel if there's any grains, which there doesn't feel like there's any now. So I'm just going to pop that down with my fingers. And I'm going to add in, so I've got some white wine vinegar here. And you can use cider vinegar as well, just using half a teaspoon. So I'm going to pop that in. And then I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of corn flour. And again, I'm just going to give that a quick mix on high. So that's what we're looking for with our meringue. So it's nice and glossy, it's holding its shape. So we're just going to scrape that off from the whisk.
They are asking if is corn flour the same as cornstarch?
I think so, but I don't. I think cornstarch is normally American. But corn flour. I've just bought this corn flour tonight from the supermarket. It's normally just with the flour, and it's very cheap. And it just helps your meringue to hold its shape. That's why we're adding it in. But I don't know whether it's definitely the same as cornstarch. It's just called corn flour here. So my meringue's ready. I've got my baking parchment ready here. I'm just going to use a little bit of the extra meringue here, just to dab a little bit onto the baking sheet. And this is just to stop the paper from lifting up when we put it in the oven. Okay, so I've got a cup here, I've got my nozzle ready in the bag. Now you can hold it in your hand, but if you find it easier, you can put it over a cup, just so you can get everything right to the bottom. I'm just going to put about half of the meringue in to start off with. And you just need to push that down into your nozzle, like that. Okay, so we're going to pipe in a 4x2 arrangement, and the idea is that we're going to get 8 nice serving slices. So you just want to, I'm going to start at the back here, and I'm just going to hold the nozzle horizontally down, and just squeeze a nice high pile like that. And then I'm just going to leave a tiny little gap because it does expand in the oven. And I'm just going to do my second one there, like so. So you can see with the nozzle you're getting a nice ripply effect. And then I'm just going to do one more here. Again, you want to make sure that you've got some height on your meringue, so you do sink slightly. I'm just going to fill up my bag a little bit more. So I hope that we're doing alright, everyone, so please give us a like if it's going well. Me and Maria are completely new to this. Like I say, it's normally Carol and John, but they're on holiday, so Maria's new to the filming. I'm completely on my own, with no helpers, nobody to tell me what to do.
We have more than 200.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to carry on this pattern that I'm going to do here. So I'm just going to do another rosette here at the back, and then 2 more at the front. Another one here. I'm just leaving a slight gap between them so they've got chance to expand in the oven.
Everybody thinks that you're doing great.
Okay, brilliant. Me and Maria normally do videos on our own, so I normally just speak to Maria while I'm doing it, but it just feels really strange being by myself. And I'm hoping that nothing goes wrong.
They're asking which fresh cream is the best in the UK.
Which fresh cream
Yes.
to put on the top?
Yes.
You can use double cream or you can use whipping cream. I always find that the whipping cream whips a bit too fast for me, so I always use the double cream. But you use exactly the same amount, you just don't need to whip the whipping cream as much as your double cream. So I'm just going to put one more nice big meringue rosette there at the back, and then we're just going to use the remainder just to fill in these little gaps in the middle, and that's just going to hold it all together, so later when we've cooked it we can bring it out and put it onto a serving tray and it's all going to hold together.
Whipping cream or double?
You can use whipping or double cream. but that's to go on top of the meringue. This is the meringue mixture that we're doing at the moment. So now I'm just going to pop them in the oven, and we're going to leave them to cook for an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm going to do here's one I prepared earlier. So I've got on the tray here a meringue that I did earlier. So this has been cooked, it's had a chance to cool down, and I'm going to show you how we finished putting it together. So just bear with me a moment, I just need to quickly get rid of this mess. Another clean bowl and whisk. So now I'm using double cream tonight. Oops, which I've just spilt everywhere. I'll just wipe that up. Forgot that I already opened it. And I just need to wash my nozzle. So I've just washed out my nozzle again, which is here, and I'm just going to again pop it in the bag so that we can do the cream. And again, you're just looking to make sure that you're not blocking any of the cups in the nozzle so that everything can come out. So I'm going to flavour the cream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the double cream into there, and I'm just going to slightly whip it just to get a little bit of thickness. And I've got my icing sugar here. You need to whip your cream slightly at first just to make sure that it's getting all that air into it before you add in your icing sugar, otherwise it might not whip as well. You can see that the cream has slightly thickened there, so I'm just going to add in the icing sugar, and that's just to add extra flavour to our meringue, and I'm just going to whip that in quickly. And you need to be really careful that you don't over whip it. So I'm just going to scrape that out and just fold in some of the icing sugar that's at the side, just so that I don't end up with over whipped cream. Okay, so we're going to take our Mrs. Whippy nozzle in the piping bag, just open that up. Add the cream.
They are asking which icing sugar did you use?
I've used strawberry milkshake tonight because we're doing a strawberry version of this Pavlova. But like I say, every nook and cranny did a black cherry version, so she used black cherry and made a black cherry compote. So you can follow the recipe online, exactly the same. You're just changing the flavour of the icing sugar and the flavour of the fruit that you're going to use. So again, we've got 8 individual portions here. So we're just going to pipe on top of each one the nice big splodge of cream. Like that. I absolutely love cream, so I'm going to do a very good sized portion here. Obviously you can do as much or as little, but I really think the cream makes a meringue. I tried this yesterday with family, and if they weren't there, I would have honestly probably have ate it all myself. I am eating for 2, so I can get away with it slightly at the moment. I just need to add a little bit more cream. I'm just adding in the remainder of the cream there for this last one. So you just squeeze in and letting those nice ruffles come out like that. Okay, so I've got the strawberry compote here, and all you're going to do is drizzle Now when you make this compote, even though it looks like a lot that you're making initially, you only actually end up with 2 to 3 tablespoons of compote, but it is just to, you know, add that little extra fruit element. Not sure you could say it was one of your 5 a day, but tastes good. So once you've drizzled that on top like that, I'm just going to take some fresh strawberries, which I've got here, and I'm just going to cut them in half and just place them on the top like that. I bet my mum wishes she was here because she'd be all over this now. Unfortunately, Mum, you're too far away and we'll eat it on your behalf. So just add in, get one more strawberry. And there you go. So that's every nook and crannies. Summer Pavlova using the Mrs. Whippy nozzle. And I'll just quickly show you how you would then separate it. So if you was going to just grab a plate. If you was going to serve this up, you could just slice a section off. And there you go. Nice little summer dessert. What do we think? Is anybody going to make this?
Yes.
Yeah? So really, you can't beat meringue and cream and strawberries. It is Wimbledon after all. So, there we go.
1,000.
Okay, so I'm just going to have to give me a minute while I set up for the unicorn cake. I'm just going to move some of this mess out of the way. So anybody that wants to do this recipe, it is on our website at the moment. On the Sugar and Crumbs, it's www.sugarandcrumbs.com, and it's called a Summer Pavlova. Mrs. Whippy Summer Pavlova. So, okay. So I'm just going to pop them over there, Maria. I need a bit of space. So there we go. is what we're going to be doing next. So I'm going to demonstrate how to make a unicorn cake using the Nifty Nozzles. Now all our nozzles are the genuine Nifty Nozzles, and Carol and John did an offer last week where you could buy the Nifty Nozzles for a discounted price, and she's going to extend that now because we're using these nozzles tonight. So the nozzles are going to be available up until Wednesday. They're normally £3.49, they'll be down to £2.25. So I'm also going to show you how to make the horn, the ears, decorate it, and put it all together for you. So I'm just going to put these bits aside, get rid of some of this mess that I've made. So I'm using the Karen Davies marshmallow flavour sugar paste, which is available on our website. It tastes absolutely amazing. I can't recommend it enough. It's so easy to work with. As long as you don't eat too much of it, you could actually make something with it. So I'm going to start with showing you how to make the horn. I've made one already earlier just because I wanted to make sure I had something that had already set. And I'm also going to show you how to put together some unicorn cupcakes. So I've made a little mini version of the horns and ears here, which I'm going to assemble together. I'm going to show you how to make the big one. So what you need is your sugar paste. And I'm just going to use the corn flour patch just to put down, just to stop it sticking to my board. I'm just going to give it a quick knead just to soften it up. Ready for us to make. So the size of the unicorn that you want to make depends really on the size of the cake that you're going to be making. I'm just going to demonstrate on this dummy cake, which is I think it's around about a 5 or 6 inch cake. But you do want to have a good size horn. So now that I've kneaded that together, I'm just going to separate some of it up. So I'm just going to chop it in half and then in half again. I'm going to use this bit to make a cone shape.
We have a lot of views.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I'm just still trying to get it nice and kneaded in at the moment, just to make sure that it's easy to work with. My hands get really hot, so I like to rub a lot of corn flour on my hands, and especially this time of year when it is warm, your hands do tend to get a bit stickier. So I'm going to roll it between your hands, and then we're going to start rolling it into a cone shape. So if you roll it in between the palm of your hands, you get a wide bottom, and then the top end starts to come up. So we just want to kind of get already a sort of horn shape. But it needs to have some kind of fat bottom, just so that you can stick it to the top of your cake. Okay, so once you've got that kind of shape there, so you've got a nice little tip at the top and a wide fat bottom like that, just pop that aside. Now the bit that we chopped off, the other half of this, I've got here, so again we just need to knead that together. Make sure you've got plenty of corn flour. If you've got a rolling mat, even better. You can use that. So we're just going to roll it out into a very long sausage shape, and you just need to keep rolling. You need to start in the centre and gradually let your fingers go out, and you just need to keep going until we get a nice even long sausage. Because we're going to have to wrap this all the way around our horn to get that nice shape. So I've gone a little bit thin on that side, so I'm just going to thin this side out a bit. Okay. Just a little bit more. And don't worry that when I made one earlier and when I've made these unicorn cakes before, I don't always get this piece to be exactly the right length, but you can add to it, so don't panic. It's not the end of the world. You're just trying to get it as long as you can for now. So we're going to bring back our little horn here.
They are asking if you can color the sugar paste with any hair. Or...
Yeah, you can. So if you wanted to colour it, say you wanted a pink horn, then yeah, you can colour it to start off with. So when you're kneading the sugar paste, you just add a little bit of colour in then and knead it in until the full piece of sugar paste has gone to the colour that you want it to be. I'm going to use a lustre spray tonight, which is why I'm not colouring this. So I'm just showing you a different way of doing it. So you'll have to excuse my ridiculously long brush here, but it's the only one that I could find. So all you need to do is just take a little bit of water and just give it a very light brush on your horn all the way to the tip, just like that. So we don't want it to be too sticky. Now you're going to take your big sausage and you're going to start by pressing one end onto the back there, and we're just going to go round the bottom, and then we're going to gradually go up. We're just going to keep going round and round and round, and it's the sugar paste is going to stick. Now I've not quite made it to the top, but don't worry, I'm just going to take a little bit more, just a little tiny bit, and again just roll it out into that sausage shape, and we can just add to it, so you don't need to panic. So I'll just quickly do that. You're just going to start where you left off. So if you want, I've done quite a nice big chunky horn here, but if you wanted to do a thinner one, you just make that cone thinner at the start. And again, if you want a tall, just make that cone taller to start with. So I'm just going to start where I left off, and I'm just going to go round and round and round until I get to the tip, like that. You just need to give everything a little press down, and there you go. So we're just going to pop that to the side while we make our ears. So I'll just give that away because I've got some water there. So take the other piece of sugar paste that we had. We're just going to make the ears. Now this is just the way that I make my unicorn horns, and if anybody's got little girls They absolutely love anything to do with unicorns at the moment. My daughter can't get enough. And the amount of times that I've made unicorn cakes just for absolutely no reason is getting a bit ridiculous, really. We eat a lot of cake. Okay, so I've kneaded that. I'm just going to put it into a sausage kind of shape, and I'm just going to half it. And then that's just to make sure that my two pieces are quite even.
Can you remind us what are you doing, please?
So I'm making the unicorn horn and the ears ready to assemble the unicorn cake together. So I'm going to show you how to decorate a full unicorn cake as well as some cupcakes. So this is just to make the horn and ears. So I've got two even circles there. Now I just use the back of a spoon and just press down, holding the sides at the same time. Press down just to get that nice ear shape, and then I just give it a little pinch at the top there. So just pushing down the spoon to get that like curve of the ear, and then a little pinch. We're just going to do exactly the same with this one. So pushing down with the spoon, holding it at the sides because I don't want it to go too wide. I just want to get that in a ear shape, and I'm just giving it a little pinch. So you just do that until you get two similar size ears. Okay, so we've got our horn, we've got our ears. These are ones that I made earlier that I've dried. And I'm just going to show you what to do if you haven't coloured. Your sugar paste. Get these colours out box just to show you some other colours that you can use. This is our colour splash range. So all these could be used for something like this. So this is a selection of colours, and they're all available on our website. And as you can see, there's plenty to choose from. Like a never-ending selection. So they're all there. So they're the colour splash colours. But I'm going to use tonight. I'm going to use the hint of gold, which is this one here, and then just over the top of it, I'm just going to give it a light spray of the PME Edible Lustre Spray in gold as well. I'll just move these to the side so you can see what we've got there. So with the horn that I made earlier, just going to tear off a bit of parchment paper. I'm going to put this one over here. I'm just going to take my ears and my horn. I'm just using a bit of parchment paper just so stop it from going everywhere. And try not to get it all over myself either.
Which size nozzle was used for the Pavlova?
It was a Mrs. Whippy nozzle. The Mrs. Whippy nozzle was what I used for both the cream and for the meringue, and that's normally £4.99, but as I say, Carol and John have extended the offer of reduced nozzles till Wednesday, so at the moment you can get that nozzle for £3.50. Okay, so I'm just going to give them a spray. So this is a hint of gold, this one, so it's very light. And I'm going to do my horn a bit darker. So we're just going to, once we've done this, we're just going to put them aside. So this is the PME Gold Luster Spray that I'm using. I'm just spraying this now just to get it ready for when we assemble together. Okay. I'll just move them out of the way. So I'm just going to put them aside. I'm going to get started with decorating the unicorn cake. And I'll just explain to you what I've used. I'll just move these little ones out of the way as well. And a little cupcake. So earlier today I've whipped up 1 kilo of buttercream, so that's 500 grams of unsalted butter, and then I've used the velvet vanilla icing sugar, which I've used 1 kilo of. So it's whatever quantity of butter you're using, you use double the amount of icing sugar. So I've already made 3 colours earlier. Just going to add some more colours and get them ready. Can make this unicorn cake nice and colourful. Getting our make, Maria. You're getting our make. Okay, so these are the colours that I've used here. So this is part of the Colour Splash range. So I've used a little tiny bit of lemon here. I've used the jade, which is this one here. And I've used the pale pink so far. And I'm just going to add in a little bit of violet to this one. And a little bit of the pistachio Colour Splash.
What butter have you used?
So I've just used Supermarket's own brand. 200 to make 1 kilo, 500 grams, so 2 blocks of butter plus 1 kilo of icing sugar. Okay, so I'll just give these a quick mix. I'm just trying to get a nice pastel colour, so I've not used a lot of any of these colours. Obviously, if you wanted to go really bright with your unicorn cake, then add some more and just gradually build it up till you get the colour that you want. Just mix in the violet.
They are asking the brand of the butter.
Just Supermarket's own brand. We don't use any fancy butter. We never have. We've just used the Supermarket's own cheapest one. Oh, getting our make. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little tiny drop more just to get a bit of a deeper colour. Whoops, I meant to do that. Just mix that in quickly. So they're great, these Colour Splash gels. I think there's about 49 in the range, so there's plenty to choose from, but they are absolutely brilliant, and we use them for everything that we do with Sugar and Crumbs. All the flowers that you see Carol makes, she always uses those colours. And they're very easy to use, and they do last a long time as well. Okay, so I've got all my colours ready there. And the nozzles that I'm using tonight are here. So I'll just go run through what we've got here. So we've got the Ruby Nozzle, which is a really nice rose flower, very popular on our website. And again, these are all still going to be reduced on our website until Wednesday, just to give anybody a chance that's watching tonight to get their nozzles. We've got the Starburst one, which is a very pretty, delicate flower here. And then we've also got the Jasmine one there. And I'm using the Summer Tulip. Now these are the genuine Russian nozzles, the genuine, made by Alexander. The best quality that you can get. And I know that we're always going on about it, but if you buy the genuine ones, you're never going to need to buy them again. Okay. And I'm also going to be using the Wilton 1M, which is this one. And I'm going to show you this on the unicorn cake, but I'm also going to pipe onto the cupcakes as well with that one, to show you some different things that you can do. When you put your nozzles in your bag, you just need to make sure that the nozzle's just poking.
Can you repeat the name of each nozzle?
Yeah, I can, yeah. So this one is the Ruby Nozzle. So that's a 12 petal rose. Got a Starburst, which is a very pretty, delicate flower. We've got the Jasmine, and we've got the Summer Tulip. And then I'm using the Wilton 1M as well.
Carol is really happy because we have more than 65,000 views. So
Okay. I'm doing well. Okay, so I'm just going to get these nozzles ready as quickly as I can. So I'm just going to fill them up. So these are great little spatulas. Again, we use these quite a lot. They're just so much easier to use than a big spatula when you're getting your nozzles ready. So I'm not going to fill these too high. I'm just trying to do this as quickly as possible. Just bear with me. I'm just going to use the jade in this Starburst nozzle. Okay, just got one more nozzle to fill, which is the 1M. I'm just going to two-tone this one. So I'm just going to add a layer of green on the outside. So I've just put a little blob in there, and I'm just scraping it up the sides of my piping bag. Like that, you can see. And I think I'll fill the middle with some yellow. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in. It is a unicorn cake after all, and want it to be colourful. You just need to open up, so where I put that last colour, I'm just going to separate that slightly to the side as well, as I did with the green. And I'm going to put that bit of blue that I've got left. You might not see that straight away, but by the end you will. Okay. So I've got all my nozzles ready there. I'll lay them out.
I understand the John's work now.
I do understand what?
Because John says that I'm better than him, but I'm not.
Just take it, Maria. We're doing well. We're doing all right. We're on our own. We've been nervous all day. Okay, so I left one bowl white, and the reason for that is that because I'm going to cover the cake with this. So I'm just going to start by putting quite a... It would be better to use a turntable, but as I'm in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, I've got no idea where there is one, and I've run out of time. So the idea is just to get a nice even layer all the way around your cake. And I will get a board in a second to pop this on. We'll just make a mess for a minute.
Can you repeat please what nozzle you are using?
Yep, so I'm going to be using the Ruby nozzle, which is the rose one, and I'm going to also be using, so I think this one is the Ruby there, this is the Summer Tulip, the next one, the yellow one, this one is the Starburst, and this one is the Jasmine. So, like I say, if you haven't got these nozzles, get them while you can, while they're on offer, because it's just been extended till Wednesday, and after that they'll be going back to the normal price. So you might as well get them now. Okay, so now that I've got a layer on, I'm just going to clean down my palette knife, and I'm just going to try and smooth that out around the sides. Like I say, if you had a turntable, it would be much easier.
Turntables are on the grey shelves next door.
They're on the grey shelves next door. Yeah, if you was here, Mum, you'd be able to go and get me one. Is that what my mum's put?
They are asking why you're not using a turntable.
Yeah, because I couldn't find one. I think my mum's trying to tell me where there is one, so we're just having the whole tin episode again when I made fudge and I forgot the tin. I just can't always remember everything. Okay, so I'll just let Maria show you those nozzles one more time and the colours that I've used, while I'll just go and find the turntable. So it will be easier when I start decorating. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so found a board as well. Just carefully lift that up. So again, just need to have a little spread on the top as well. Now this is much easier when you're doing it on a real cake because you've got that weight in the cake to keep it on the board. When you're using a dummy, it's just so light. It just wants to come off. So, like that.
You can use a bit of buttercream in the bottom.
Yeah. Let's try it. Okay, so carry on adding buttercream, taking it away just to get a nice smooth finish as possible. I'm obsessed with palette knives, so I just like to do everything with them. You can also use a cake scraper to get a nice smooth finish. Okay, so let's start decorating. Okay, so I actually find it easier to add my horn and ears to start off with, just because then I can work round them. So I'm just going to go for my horn, and I'm just going to place it in the centre of my cake, like that. So this is the front, sorry. And then I'm just going to add on my ears. So I've left like a little flat edge, so when I smoothed it out before, I've just left that little flat edge there just so that it can stick to the cake, like that. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 1M nozzle. So I'm just going to, you'll see me keep wiping down my nozzles, and that's just to make sure that the finish that I'm getting on the cake is cleaner, and it just looks better.
Nozzle is that?
So this is the Wilton 1M nozzle. So if I can, I'm going to have to try and do this so that you can see at the same time. I always find it easier to start at the front to do that big swirl, big first swirl for the unicorn, you would have seen. So I'm going to start in the centre. I'm going to give a nice big squeeze there just to give it a little bit of height, and then I'm going to push and go round like that. So we've got that starting point, and then I'm also going to do another one here at the back, so you can see that the colour's starting to come through. Now the idea with the unicorn cake is that you start with that middle main bit in line with your horn, and then you come to the back and then sweep round to the side. So I've got one at the front, one at the there. I'm just going to add one to the back here, like that. So just starting in the middle and swirling outwards. I'm just going to put that aside at the moment, and I'm going to take my first Nifty Nozzle, which is the ruby one, and I'm just going to place my first flower there. So you just push in, squeeze in and lift in, so you can see that one there. So I'm going to try and decorate this back to front. Obviously it's easier for you to be looking at it. So I'm going to add another one here, so squeeze, lift to get some height, and add there. And then again, I'm going to do another one behind the horn here. Now there's no real order to this. This is just kind of you being creative and putting them where you want. It's just nice to get the different colours and the different flowers in different places, so that you've got a lot of different texture, different colours and different styles going on through your cake. So I'm going to bring my main down to this side here, so I'm going to also add some round onto the board as well. So we'll place one there, and then we'll take the next one, which is the Starburst. So we'll place one in here, so we just squeeze, lift and release. We'll add one to the back here, squeeze, lift, release. So this is the Starburst nozzle, and you just want to randomly place these wherever you feel is necessary. Okay, so just put that on the side. So now we've got the jasmine one. So again, we'll add one here, maybe one here, and then we'll do one at the back there. And we'll scatter a few here on the board. And you can keep going back and adding more wherever you want. It's just I'm trying to make sure that I've got I'm using all the different nozzles. So I'll just go back to the front there, so you can see. So the last nozzle that I'm using is the Summer Tulip. So we'll place one in here, one behind the horn there. We'll have one here. And then again, just randomly.
They are asking if we sell a stable glitter on our website.
Sell a what?
A stable glitter.
Sorry. Sell a table glitter on your website. I'm not really sure what that means. Do you mean the turntable? Was it Andrea that's asked that question? Anthony, can you just please say, I'm not really too sure what you're asking. Do we sell the table glitter? Do you mean the board or the turntable? I'm not too sure. But we can if you message us again, we might be able to help. I'm just not really too sure what you mean by that. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on adding. So now that I've got the majority on, I'm just going to keep going round, just adding in, filling in any gaps, just so that we've got variation. So add a few more roses in. You want to make sure that you've got a lot of, different colour mixed up. Push in there at the end. So we're just getting that nice main effect. So we've started from the front here, and we're just kind of swooping across. See where we need to add a bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to use the 1M nozzle because it's like a little star shaped. All these little gaps that I've got in between my flowers, I can just add in a little squeeze with the 1M. Obviously, if you wanted to use more nozzles than I've used tonight, then of course you could do that as well. I'm just going to fill in all these little gaps. Like that.
He means edible glitter. Right?
Edible glitter. We do edible glitter on our website, yeah. We do the rainbow dust, which they're all on the website. Sorry about that, Anthony, just didn't quite understand what you meant. Okay, so just finish off, adding a little bit there, and there you go. So just start from the front. So obviously you can add in some little eyes as well. Most people use like a little black eyelash, like what would be on here. So you just cut a little piece of black icing sugar for each one, and you can add eyelashes if you wanted to. But the idea is that you get that main effect. So I'll just show you from the front. We've got our ears, our horn. We've got the start of the mane here. If you can go over the top, just look at the top. So we've just filled in the top behind the ears, and then if I just turn it around, you can see that we've got this shape. We've got lots of different colours going on. This is obviously the pastel version, but again, if you wanted to do a brighter version, then you could mix it up. But that's just to give you an idea. And obviously by using the Nifty Nozzles, you're just creating something different than the unicorn cakes that you've probably seen the most of. So I'm just going to pop that there, and I'm just going to show you how to do some cupcakes. So I've got a few cupcakes here. There's one here. So to add to your cake, if you wanted to do something else, you could make a few cupcakes as well. I'm just going to show you a few different things. So I'm just going to quickly fill my bag up. It's got a bit low. For a moment. So what does everybody think of the unicorn cake? Does that look like it might be something that you can do? Easy to follow? I will. I haven't put it on the website, but I will do put the video on the website from tonight so that you can make it at home. Watch at home and make it yourself. And it's a great one to do with the kids. My daughter Holly loves using the nozzles. I've been trying to convince her today that she should probably do a kids Facebook live and get the kids showing kids how to do cake related things. So I'm working on a. We'll have to see how we get on. So I just need to fill this last bag. Okay, so as I said before, I've made a little mini version of the unicorn horn here, and I've done some little ears. So it's exactly the same principle as I did before. You just make your little cone, make your little sausage shape, add a little bit of water and swirl round. And then again with the mini ears, I've just used this tool here. So I've just done a little ball, and then I've squashed it down using this to give you that ear shape, and then again just pinched at the top to get the two little ears. So I'm just going to show you how to put a few cupcakes together. I'm also going to show you these sugar pipings. Now these are the unicorn ones that I've got here tonight. But we do a big range of sugar pipings. They're £2.49 on the website. You get 12. They're brilliant for special occasions. We made some last week when we had our Alzheimer's Society Cupcake Day, and we put a few of these on, and we got so many comments from them. They're just so pretty. So you get a couple of rainbows, get a few different unicorns. But they're really cute. So they're £2.49. We do different ones. We do ones that are for weddings, and ones that are for boys, There's lots of different ones. They're from the Cupcake Sugar pipings, £2.49. So back to the cupcakes. I'm going to show you a few different ones. So I'm going to show you how to use the horn that I've made. So to start with, you just need to take a little bit of your extra icing buttercream that you've got, and just give your cupcake a little spread like that. So just do one at a time, just to make sure that it doesn't dry. So you only need a little bit on, it's just to give it something to stick to. I'm just going to wipe a little bit of buttercream under my horn here, and I'm going to just stick that in the centre. Now I'm not going to add my ears first, I'm just going to do a little bit of piping first and then add the ears, just because the flowers are going to look quite big on this one. So to start with, I'm going to use the Wilton 1M nozzle, and I'm just going to do that swirl just to start with at the front there, just a mini version, so you can see that my colours are coming through now. And I'm just going to add in a couple of the flowers, so it's just push against the cake, squeeze, lift, just to give a bit of height. So I think it's nice on the cupcakes just to do one of each flower. So I've got the summer tulip there, the jasmine. I'm just going to add in the beauty at the back here, and then my last nozzle, which is the starburst, which I've not got a lot of buttercream left, but I'll give it a go. Just going to add that in there like that, and then I take the two ears, make sure you've got them the right way round, and then you can just add them in at the side of the flowers there. And then again, as we did on the big cake, just use your 1M just to fill in any little gaps that you've got going on. And there you go, you've got a mini version of your big cake. So I'm just going to pop that there next to the big one. I'm just going to show you that one more time. So we start with the cupcake, a little bit of icing, keep calling it icing, buttercream, just spread it round the cupcake, pop on the horn in the centre, use the 1M to do that front swirl, which just gives you a focal point really. And then again, add in one of each flower onto the sides. Oops. And fill in those little gaps like that. And grab your two little ears, and again, right way round. Pop them in, and again, as I did with the big horn, you could also colour this one if you wanted to. So I'm just going to pop there. So everything that I've used is available on the website. So we've got the Karen Davies Sugar paste, marshmallow flavour, which I've used for the horn and the ears. We've got the 1M nozzle, which I've used on the big cake, and the little ones here, which is the Wilton 1M, and then I've used Ruby, which is the pink rose here, the summer tulip, which is the yellow one, the jasmine nozzle here, and I've also used the starburst, which is the little blue type one. Okay, so sugar pipings. So again, a little bit of buttercream. Now do this as you go, because they do dry. By the time you've got round, especially if you're doing quite a few, by the time you've got round to them, they would have dried, and you're going to end up doing it again. So just do one or two at a time, just so that they're not going to dry out. So I'm going to show you what you can do with these sugar pipings that you can add to your collection. So to start off with, I'm just going to use this slightly shorter one here. You can do like an ice cream cone. So if you start with a blob in the middle here, then start from the outside and squeeze and go round and up, and then right to the top, squeeze off, grab your little unicorn here, and then just place it on the top like that. I'll pop that one there. And then you can also do a rose swirl, so you'd start in the centre of the cupcake here, so squeeze and just go round and round and just break off, and then take another sugar pipe in so I can pick it up, and just where you've just cut off there you can just add that. So we'll pop that one there like that. I'll just quickly show you them again. So a little bit of buttercream.
What nozzle are you using now?
I'm using the Wilton 1M nozzle at the moment. It's a very versatile nozzle, so you can do quite a lot of different things with it. But as we're doing unicorns tonight, I'm just showing you how you can make a... So say you had 12 cupcakes to decorate, you could do 4 like this one here with the ice cream type of cone. You could do 4 rose swirl, and then you could do 4 in the mini unicorns. So to make the rose swirl, you're starting in the centre and you're just going round and round the cupcake, break off and add on your little sugar piping, and it just fits in with the theme of the unicorn, so you're just getting something a little bit different from each cupcake. And so now again with the ice cream one, start with a squirt in the middle and then start from the outside and work your way up. It's all gone a bit green now, so obviously if I started it at the beginning like this one, you can see that I've got the 2-tone in, but you can obviously do whichever colours you want to do. So I've got my ice cream cone one there, and we'll just add another unicorn piping to the top there, like that. And there you go. That is everything for tonight, I think. Have I done everything? Yeah. So I've just got a few things that I wanted to tell you about. So I'll just run through. I've got a few notes here. So again, I just want to say a big thank you to every nook and cranny for sharing her Pavlova recipe, which we're going to absolutely enjoy once we've finished tonight. We'll be having these summer Pavlovas, which is just here. And if you make these ahead, if you're having a dinner party or just having friends over for a barbecue, you can put them in the fridge and they're fine for 2 days. And you might just want to put the fruit on just before serving them. So thank you every nook and cranny for that recipe. Then I just want to quickly go through one more time with the unicorn cake. I've used the Starburst nozzle, the Ruby nozzle, Summer Tulip and Jasmine, and they are all reduced in the sale. Karen and John have extended their sale till Wednesday, and they are all reduced to £2.25, and the Mrs. Whippy nozzle is normally £4.99, but at the moment you can get it for £3.50. So make use of that if you want anything. I've used the Karen Davies Sugar paste, which is available on our website. It's very good for all modelling types, things like this. It's great for using in obviously the moulds as well. And then we've got the Colour Splash range, which I've used the Hint of Gold for my ears tonight, And then I've used the PME Luster Spray, which I've coloured the horn here. Obviously, if you wanted to go darker, you could just give it another coat. So that's on our website as well. These little cupcake cases are also available on our website. The Wilton 1M nozzle I've used to do the main swirls, and the sugar pipings, they are a pack of 12, £2.49, and we do a lot of variations with them as well. So that leaves me to just tell you what is coming up in the next couple of weeks. So on the 10th of July, which is next week, we have got Louise Brimlow visiting us, and she was on the very first Great British Bake Off. Anybody that goes to the cake shows would have probably seen her on the Masso Ticino stand. She's a lovely woman, and we really enjoy having her around when she's popped in before. She's great fun, and she's going to be making a drip cake, and she's also going to be doing meringue kisses. So make sure you tune in next week to catch Louise. And then on the 17th of July, Carol's going to be back. Well, she'll be back next week, so you'll see her next week, but she's going to be back on her own on the 17th of July, making another creation with Nifty Nozzles for you to try. So make sure you come back for that one. And then on the, I'm not sure if it's the 23rd or the 24th of July, because I've been given 2 dates, but it's the following Monday after the 17th of July. And we've got Christina Lundler visiting us. Now she's going to be making a cake using the Karen Davies Orate Pearl Effect mould, and she's going to be using the Karen Davies Sugar paste again as well, so you can see that. Now Christina is just releasing her new book, which is this one. It's Vintage Cake Decorations Made Easy, and I've had a look through this over the weekend, and I've got to say I would really love to have this. She's just released this book, and we're taking pre-orders tonight on the website. So if you would like a copy, they are going to be £12.99. And because Christina is visiting us, she's going to sign the copies for you as well on the night that she's here. So then they will come out to you. So if you pre-order now, you can pre-order on Facebook or on the website. The £12.99. You'll have a signed copy. You can also ask Christina as well what message you would like. So if it's a gift for somebody, then you can say it's to this person or whatever you wish to have. So it's a great book. There's some really good ideas in there, and like she says, they're made easy. So make sure you have a look at that. The postage is £2.99, but if you order some other goodies from our website and get over £30, then it'll be free delivery. So that's that. And then the last thing that I need to tell you about, sorry that I'm going on a bit long, but I've got a lot of notes that I've been given here. The last thing to say is that the Alzheimer's Society Cupcake Day, we have a new total on our Just Giving page, which is £1,727.82. So thank you so much for everybody that's donated, everybody that came to our Cupcake Day. It's just such a good charity, and we really wanted to help them, and we really appreciate everybody getting involved with that, and to the bakers that also did their own Cupcake Days and donated to our page. Thank you. And I think that's everything. So thank you everybody.